Hello everyone. So today I'm going to talk about the Utopia, how to create a world with Utopia, a country, a state. Yourself, first of all, you have to start with yourself, and then your family, then your relatives, then your town you live, then your country, then the world. So the first thing, you have to change yourself. You have to be a person that who practice justice mentally and physically. So the greatest justice is worshiping God alone and disbelieving in any other gods that people worship except Allah alone. You have to worship God alone and disbelieve in every other things that worship it beside God. Whether it's a prophet or a person or statue, a tree, a rock or anything, a grave or anything, or a star, anything which people worship beside God. You have to worship God alone and ask God alone in good time, in times that you are in not in trouble, and in other times that you are in trouble. You have to ask God alone to rescue you and to help you. So I think worshiping God alone, and this is the greatest justice that any person in this world can do. So we are in Kurdistan. We have I'm not talking about the government of Kurdistan or Iraqi, or we have Kurdistan regional government. We are under the control of Iraqi government, and obviously Iraq is not is just with us. They use every kind of in the past they used every kind of injustice with us, with Kurdish people. Saddam Hussein killed many thousand of people, Kurdish people. And right now, the current government, I remember that in 2017, they invaded Kirkuk, which is our land, but Baghdad invaded, and now they use another. They try to sell our oil, which in our country we have a right to sell our oil and to not give neither the price nor the oil to Iraqi government. So Iraqi government right now use another punishment against us, which is do not giving our salary, our paycheck monthly. Today is, I don't know, is that, I think it's 21st of August. Last month we had our monthly paycheck in 11th of July. So Iraqi government doesn't have any justice to us, and they always try to punish us. Beside all of these things, they also try to change the way of worship of Kurdish people to become Shia, from Sunni to Shia, and to swearing Sahaba, and to swearing the wives of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the strategy of Iraqi government, which is under control of Iran. and they try to wipe out both this world, little world. They don't give us money, and the other world, which is true Islam, Salafi Islam, Sunni Islam, Salafi Islam, and they try to take both of our worlds, this worldly world and the other world, which is heaven. And yeah, they try to take our both worlds, to both our worlds, and this is truly, truly unjust. And I really didn't want to talk about it, but it's just I see something like that. It's very injustice. I'm Yeah, and it's I think is not going too long. Injustice is not going forever. There's a proverb in Kurdish language, in Kurdish culture, that every rope is gonna cut it in every everything is going to be finished or cut it at when it's become everything is going. For example, if you're a businessman, if you're a billionaire, you made a lot of money, and that's a great thing for you. But you grow your business from scratch to become a billionaire. But in injustice is not like that. So the rope of injustice is going to be cut it when the injustice grew very big. And at that time, I think Saddam Hussein died. Look at Saddam Hussein. He killed many thousand people, Kurdish people in Kurdistan. But right now we live without him, and this Iraqi government is gonna see the result of his injustice. And Iran also behind all of the chaos in Middle East, and Iran is the source of injustice in Middle East. Yes. So I think I personally have no control. I'm not. I don't have any power or position in Kurdistan government, and therefore I cannot talk about Kurdistan government and how can I fix things and how can I make a good impact on justice in the Kurdistan government. But I think I personally can change myself to be more justice with my behaviors, with my character and personality, and worshiping God alone and being a true Muslim Salafi, and follow that path. So the ultimate justice is worshiping God alone and not worshiping anything else, and understanding Quran and Sunnah in how the Sahaba, how the companions and disciples of Prophet Muhammad understood it. That's true justice, and anyone who wants to be justice, you should follow this path. So if you wanna make justice in religion, you have to. You mean spiritually, if you wanna make justice to yourself, you have to follow Islam. There's no other way. Your spirit is not going to be arrested until you follow true Islam. And abuse. Yes. And I mean, if you look at the history, Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anh, at this time of his leadership, there was justice on all of continents. He ruled Persia. He collapsed the Persian Empire, and what they worship it fire, and ultimately Islam go to Persia, which is right now they are, most of them they are Shia, and Shia, anyone who's swear at Sahaba, followers of the companions of Prophet Muhammad, they anyone who swear them is undoubtedly a kafir, disbeliever. And most of the Iranians, they have this habit, and I think who I don't think, and I don't think anyone is a true Muslim, is a Muslim who swears Sahaba. So Umar bin Khattab ruled Europe, Spain, and people at that time knew the Christians who were under the rule of Umar bin Khattab were really know that we are in a time that no ruler was more justice like Umar bin Khattab. And it cannot be, because this is from God. You cannot be more justice than the rules of God, which is Quran and Sunnah, and following the Quran and Sunnah by understanding of Salaf al-Ummah, Sahaba, by understanding the companions of Prophet Muhammad. Because the religion came at their time, you have to understand the religion according to their understanding. So I think this is the justice. This is the true meaning justice. This is, I'm inspired by also the Republic by Plato, which he really talk about justice and the issue about creating a Utopia, how a good government, how you have a justice society, government, and yes, an ideal state and justice state. How can we have this? And he have some good ideas which I cannot it just I accepted that it's really helpful to have a Utopia. Socrates wasn't a leader. He wasn't a leader of a country, and he wasn't have any position in the government. And I think, according to my knowledge, anyone who most wise people are not they are not the ruler of the country. Most philosophers, which are most of them, which you can become very wise by philosophy, they are not a ruler, and they don't have a power or presidency in the government. And that's why, but most of the time, the unwise people became a leader because of their ambition to get what they want, and they became a president of a country, and they don't know what's justice. I can say that there's a lot of tyranny in their government and their ruling of the government, and we just make things worse and worse, and people become more unhappy and sad, depression, and all of kind of injustice. You're gonna face all of kind of injustice. People, I don't think, live in a good life mentally and physically when those tyrants rule the world and the country. So I think the best thing I can do for right now, I'm here in my country, I have to be justice. To myself to practice justice and to not be unjust toward anyone, intentionally or unintentionally, unintentionally. I don't have to be unjust toward anyone, even if the act is very small or big. I don't have to be unjust. I don't have to commit it. Yes, and especially towarding people, because if you're unjust towards someone, you're gonna you have to pay the price here in this world or in another. And but if you're unjust to yourself, to your rights, uh, you can have, you can regret from this and go back and astaghfirullah. You can say astaghfirullah, and then you meaning that I'm praising forgiveness from God. I'm asking forgiveness from God. God will forgive you. But the person, if you be unjust to a person, this person if doesn't forgive you, God will not forgive you because of this person. And no matter who is that person, if the person is Muslim or not Muslim, if the person is Muslim or Christian or Jew, if you are unjust to them, this person have the right to get his revenge from you in this world or in another. And so you have to pay the price here or in another world. If you ask God to, because of your unjustfulness toward him, even if the person is not Muslim, God will punish you for this unjust action. So I think in the beginning of the book of the Republic, Socrates, which the narrator of the book, which is narrator is someone who telling the story, who's behind, who's the voice of the book, the voice of the book, the hidden voice of the book, the one who tell you the story, which is written by Plato, and the voices of Socrates. And I mean, he's talking about injustice at the beginning of his book. He's talking about justice, and he's talking about death. And I don't know which of them say that that when you at the last minutes of your death, you're gonna regret for all of injustice that you did, and all of the injustice you did. You're gonna remember all of the injustice and all of the tyranny you did. Imagine how could be the worst. How there's no other thing worse than that. At the deathbed, you remember all of injustice that you did toward anyone, toward God, toward your religion, toward yourself, toward humanity. And I think we have to take this advice very seriously, to not be unjust anymore toward anyone. I mean, as I talked about the best justice at the beginning of my video, you're gonna understand what's justice. So you have to change yourself right now to not be unjustful to anyone, and to any person, or towards your religion. You have to choose the right religion, which is Salafi Sunni Islam. And I mean, that's the true justice. And how to create a utopia? How to create a utopia in this there's a lot of injustice. If you look at around us, there's a lot of people who are unjust. There's a lot of books written for how to be how to deceive, or to hurt, or to scam, or to steal, or to deceive, or to harm. Even sometimes people think about how to have a plan to harm someone, even it meaning to kill them, and which is very dangerous, and according to law and to religion it's not allowed. So injustice, in the book I just read it, the chapter 7 of the book. I read some at the I read it some papers at the beginning of the book of the Republic, and I really changed my life. It's so you know, thought provoking, yes. And it's really changed me, my thinking. I really think this is really what we need, and we need not just in myself, not in my country, not just in my country, but the whole world. For the whole humanity, we have to be justice. We have to be justice, and the true justice is, we can see, if you want to see an ideal state, an ideal country, look at the caliphate period of Umar bin Khattab, who ruled even Europe, Spain, Andalusia. He was just even to the Christians. He didn't treat them unjustly. He didn't have a tyranny toward them, even they were unjust. I think we can have justice in this world. We can create justice in this world by following true Islam, which is understanding Islam by how the companions of Prophet Muhammad understood Islam. And also in this worldly matter, this is for religion. For this worldly matters, like, I think there's also other economy and healthcare is also is very great. You have to care about it. And also the idea of justice in the Socrates book, the Plato book, the Republic. I think this is very great, and we have to also look at their ideas and to practice it. And I think it really made by understanding, by following those steps, we can have a just society. We can practice just in ourselves, in our family, in our relatives, in our society, in our neighbors, in our community, and our town, our country, our world, and ultimately all of the world. I think this is we can. This is my aim. Obviously, I just really want to have this Utopia in the world, and people be in justice, in a good life, in harmony, in good harmony. Everything should be in good harmony. And one day this is going to happen, even if I cannot do this. This is my aim. I don't, I'm not hopeless, but even if I cannot do this, someday this will going to happen. And what's the best thing you can do is you can change yourself. You can start by changing yourself and practicing it, and telling those who need it, who they ask it for you, ask it from you, to what is justice. You have to show them and tell them. And this is, I think, by this way, even if it's not going to happen in a near future, I don't know if it will happen in near future or not, but even if it's not going to happen in near future, we have to be very sure, certain that this is going to unadaptable in the far future. If not going to happen in near future, it's going to happen in a far future. And we have to step the steps, which is I talked about it. Yeah, this is at Utopia. No one is under any tyranny, and everyone is happy. Everyone is in a good condition, physically, mentally, and the government is in a good situation, because it is ruled by the rule of God, which is Quran and Sunnah, by understanding companions of Prophet Muhammad. Yes, I mean, obviously, as I promised you, and in my other video I said I didn't want to talk about it right now. The I didn't want to talk about it right now. The Utopia that I'm working on. I'm still working on it. I'm still reading the book. I daily basis I get the idea, more ideas about how to create a Utopia, and I think yeah, eventually this is going to happen. It's certain, and this is God's promise. This is going to happen. The world is going to God. It's not going to devil. It's wonderful becoming. I promise you. So yeah, thank you for listening and take care. Have a nice time. Have a utopian world. Have justice in yourself, in your family, and have a ultimately a utopian world. Yeah, thank you for listening and take care. Goodbye.